Hello, Andrew here again, and in this video I'll be giving you some things to consider when choosing your irons. To ensure you keep a consistent look and feel through your irons, it is best to buy your irons as a set rather than individually. Now the composition of that set may vary based on your skill level and personal preferences. The longest hitting iron available is a 1 iron, which can be difficult to hit even for the more advanced players and is not very common these days. From there you move down to a 2 iron, then a 3 iron and eventually down to a 9 iron before moving into your wedges. Obviously as you move down the range you'll be hitting the ball higher rather than longer. For beginners and intermediates, you're probably prone to a few mishits every now and then, so you want maximum forgiveness from your clubs. I recommend you look at getting more hybrids or fairway woods and only look at irons from your 5 or 6 iron through to your wedges. For advanced players, it might not be a bad idea to do the same. However, if you like to shape your shots, fairway woods and hybrids may not give you the same control as a 3 or a 4 iron will. Now that you've decided on the composition of your set, let's look at the different club head types for your irons. There are 2 types of club head designs, a cavity back and a muscle back. Cavity back or perimeter weighted irons have a small to large amount of metal removed from the back of the club head. This moves more of the weight to the outside edges of the club head to produce a larger sweet spot, which makes it easier to hit. Beginner, intermediate and even a lot of advanced players would do best to use a cavity back iron. Muscle back or blade irons are thin and have their weight evenly distributed across the back of the club head. These club heads are generally less forgiving than cavity backs, and when you don't hit the ball squarely with them, you tend to feel a distinctly unpleasant vibration up your arm, followed by a bad shot and then usually a 4-letter word. I would only recommend muscle back to the more advanced players, as in the right hands they do provide more control over shaping the ball, and when hit squarely have a super soft feel. The way iron club heads are constructed also provides you with a couple of different options: forged or cast. Forging involves hammering and shaping the club head out of a block of steel. Casting, on the other hand, involves pouring metal into a mould and letting it set. Casting is cheaper, and up until recently it has been an easier method to produce the complex shape of a cavity back iron. However, forged irons do have one big benefit over cast iron that make it worth paying that little bit extra, is that it can easily be customised. Forged irons are able to be continuously bent to adjust the lie angle in the loft with minimal risk of breaking the club, unlike cast iron which can only handle a few adjustments. Most players will change their setup and posture throughout their golfing life, so a forged iron gives you the flexibility to continually adjust the club for these changes. Now that we've covered off the club head of an iron, let's look at the all-important shaft. On most iron sets you'll have a choice of graphite or steel shafts. Graphite is suited to slower swingers such as ladies, seniors and juniors who want a little bit more distance. It's more lightweight, has less vibrations, but is that a little bit more expensive than steel. Steel shafts, on the other hand, do not experience the torque or lateral twisting found in graphite and therefore offer more control and a greater emphasis on accuracy rather than distance. If you want to learn more about this, check out a video guide called Understanding Shaft Types. Next is shaft flex. Choosing the flex in your shaft is one of the most important decisions you need to get right. We've also done a video guide called Understanding Shaft Flex, which focuses solely on this. However, I'll give you some quick guidelines for choosing the right shaft flex for your irons. If you hit at least a 3-wood 150 yards or 135 metres, then go with a ladies flex shaft. If you hit a 3 or 4 iron 150 yards or 135 metres, go with a senior flex. If you hit a 5 or a 6 iron 150 yards or 135 metres, go with a regular flex. If you hit a 7 or an 8 iron 150 yards or 135 metres, go with a stiff flex. And if you hit a 9 iron that distance, then you're crazy long and you go with an extra stiff flex shaft. Finally, a word on customising your irons. Once again here at Andrew's Guide, we have been incredibly helpful and done a video guide devoted to the topic called Understanding the Need to Customise Your Clubs. Essentially, you want to make sure your clubs are customised to you and your swing rather than picking up lots of bad habits by customising your swing to your clubs. A lot of the time the lie angle on your irons will need adjusting, and you may need the length adjusted if you are taller or shorter than average. But as I said, check out the video guide and that will point you in the right direction. So there you have it. We've covered a fair bit of material in this video, but I hope you found it useful. See you next time.